Send them home. Send them home. Send them home. Run the track. Send them home. Run it, bitch. Send them home. Run the track. Send them home. Run it, bitch. Send them home. Run the track. Send them home. Run it, bitch. Send them home. Run the track. Send them home. Run it, bitch. Send them home. Send them home. Send them home. Send them home. Home, 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 home. Send them 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 home.
Hello, welcome in to No Dicequalifications, our worldwide wrestling RPG. We're excited to get started, so I'm just going to throw it to Tyson.
Hi, welcome to No Dicequalifications. As we just said there, I will be looking over this motley group of individuals here. And this is a game where men without pants fight over a belt, so always good times. So I'll be the head creative, which means that I'm the game master, dungeon master, similar things you may have heard of. Let's introduce our players. Players, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Okay, hi, I'm Stacy. I will be playing El Magnifico, second generation luchador.
Hey, I'm Ryan. I'll be playing Atlas. I'm kind of the old hard ass.
Awesome.
And then Carl.
I'm Tyler, and I'm playing Carl the Hatchet Castle, an unhinged man of the woods.
And hi, I'm Anita, or Panita, or Critical Misses. Tonight I'll be playing Charlie Knox with 3 X's.
Because it's the 90s, and we're hardcore like that.
Super X's.
So if you are new to our cards, basically what this is we are a federation of wrestlers that are playing kind of what the WCW would have been in about 1997. So head competition against the WWF. The WWF in this case is known as All World Wrestling. They're based out of Los Angeles, California. We are the ones trying to get a hold of that piece of the pie. We're called New America Wrestling. We are just about to get started here. This is our last pay-per-view of the 1997 series. So next year we're going to be starting off in 1998. Lots of good things happened in 98. I don't think the thong song was yet, but it's coming. And, you know, that's a real big changer for the rest of the world. This is November Rain. So the year has been building up to these matches. Like every single title is going to be on the line tonight. Plus, the winner of tonight's Stairway to Heaven ladder match will get a chance to challenge for any title at the next pay-per-view, which is called Countdown to Oblivion. So with all those titles on the line, somebody's bound to lose one. In the words of the great American songsmith W. Axl Rose, nothing lasts forever, even a cold November rain. Players, are you ready to get started?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's tussle. So you're cutting in one of those classic intros to a pay-per-view comes on. Lots of super loud rock music, people doing jumps over the ropes, because this is like when suicide dives didn't happen every 25 minutes. Suplexes, people flexing, all those things that you would expect. Pops in on this arena that's just packed with people everywhere. People holding up signs for their favorite wrestlers, people holding up signs for their least favorite wrestlers, people holding up signs that just say wacky things like, I'm the sixth Spice Girl. So in this kind of scene, it cuts into this booth, the table where these people are going to be talking about the matches. And we're going to cut to our first match of the night, which is going to be Charlie Knox versus Rick Palomino. So, Charlie, I'm just going to do a quick update of what happened last time in case our viewers didn't see. Last time you were challenging for the TV championship, and there was a bunk DQ that happened. You got a spray paint on your jacket. It wasn't cool. I just want you, before we cut to your promo, let's just play this, what's been going on for the last 4 weeks leading up to now. So 4 weeks ago, it was Monday Night Detonation, like it always is every Monday. Tune in here, don't tune into the other guys. Can you tell me what happened in that match where Rick Palomino looked like he had the win, but what did you do?
Well, there was a little bit of some referee interference, and I went for a low blow. And I ended up taking down Palomino. The ref got up just in time to see the 1, 2, 3.
Wow. That's kind of out of character for you. You're usually the guy who's on the straight and narrow.
Yeah.
Tell us why that happened in that way.
The division has been gunning for me ever since they took me out after the TV title. And if they're going to fight dirty, then Lord knows I'm going to fight dirty too. It's the way that it is. Sometimes you gotta stoop to their level.
Last week, the tag team champions, Torque and Lorenzo Moss, the leaders of the division, you inserted yourself into that one as well. Tell me kind of what happened there.
Oh, I didn't do anything. I just stood at the edge of the ramp, stared them down. The other team did all the work for me.
So do you think that this vendetta is going to go on longer?
I think it's going to go on as long as it needs to until I get my TV championship.
Speaking of which, Visions, the TV champion, he hasn't been on TV since he won that.
No.
Do you think he's avoiding you?
Oh, definitely. He's been sending his goons to do his dirty work. 100% he has.
All right, let's do a quick cut to a promo from the Doctor of Rock, Rick Palomino. Woo, baby, I'm feeling all right. Now let me tell you a little something about this guy, Charlie Knox. We took him out 5 weeks ago, spray painted that big old dot on his back because we divided him. You see this X that he keeps making? He's trying to multiply. We divide everything. As you know, I am the Doctor of Rock. I'm going to come in here. I'm going to take this guy out. We're going to check his fever. And you know what? As a doctor, they always keep telling me, an apple a day going to keep the doctor away. There ain't no apple going to keep you safe tonight, Rick Knox. Knox, you're dealing with Rick Palomino. How you like them apples? And we're going to cut down to the ring where the microphone has been dropped down. There's a single spotlight in the ring. Everything's black. And a voice calls out, "Ladies and gentlemen, this match is scheduled for one fall with a 30-minute time limit. Introducing first, from Seattle, Washington, Charlie Knox." So describe to us what this intro looks like, Charlie.
Smoke Machine comes in. The previous intro for Charlie was a little bit taken from his mentor, Dazzlin' Dallas
He
Clegg.
froze.
Oh, did I freeze? What? No, I
I
didn't
think
freeze.
you froze.
I'm okay. At least it looks okay on the stream end. It was you. So it was, but now it's a low sort of smoke ground effects sort of come in. Some laser lights come up in the shape of an X over the gorilla position. And Charlie comes out back facing the crowd so that you can see the leather jacket that they wore with the division symbol. But what's been spray painted now in its place is a giant red X, and then two more X's in the side, so that there's 3 X's on the jacket. Very reminiscent of Triple X, but not quite. Legally distinct, I'll say. Then Charlie will do a quick spin, and then just run full tilt towards the ring.
Right on. Yeah, it goes just like you say. You're in the ring, middle of the ring. The announcer calls up the next name. And his opponent from Thunder Bay, Ontario, Rick Palomino. So Rick, the music hits, which is the same music for everyone in the division. And it's this kind of like driving rock song, but it's got kind of a bit of a wah-wah funk guitar thing going on too. You could definitely tell that they got it from like a, back in the building where they do the instant replays for the sports thing. This is like Sports Jam number 7. So anyways, he comes moving out like not super fast. The lights are hitting. He kind of comes out, gives one of these, gives one of those, starts walking down. People are reaching up their hands to slap his hand, and he's just kind of shrugging them off as he's walking down. Like, doesn't have time for any fans. Sees one fan that just has like his sign on it, and it just says Palomino forever. And he goes and he stands by that fan for like a second till the photographers get a picture of it. Then he just takes the sign and just takes it with him. He just walks down to the ring holding this sign. Gets about most of the way there and decides, why am I holding on to this junk? Throws it on the ground. Walks up the ring, goes through the second rope, walks to the first turnbuckle, gives one of these, hops down. So starting off here, we're going to have you in control, Charlie. So go ahead and what do you want to do? You can, bell hasn't quite rung yet, but let me know what you want to do.
Okay. Bell hasn't quite rung yet. The referee is sort of doing like the quick checkovers.
Yeah.
As the ref is checking over Palomino, I'm just gonna sort of mad dog him in the corner to make him flinch, and then go back to my corner after the ref tries to break it up.
Okay. Yeah, so that's not going to require any rules or anything. You do that exactly the way you do it. Kind of startles him.
Just trying to get it.
The ref goes like this. Ding, ding, ding. Match starts. So you started in the lead there, kind of threw him off his game. So I'm going to give you the first chance to make a move here.
Right out the gate, I'm going to full body tackle, almost spear, and then I'm just going to start ground and pound.
Perfect. Well, for the first bit, we're going to need it's a pretty powerful move. Go ahead and roll on power or body. Those two terms are interchangeable as we're playing the second edition.
That is a 6 and a 4 plus 1, so that's a total of 11.
11. Wow. That spear connects hard. That's a huge crunch. He didn't expect you to come out of the gate that fierce. The crowd didn't either. They pop huge for this. And you're just laying in those blows, lefts and rights. He's kind of turtling himself up, but can't do too much. Actually, his one shoulder hits the thing, and the ref does a quick 1, and he back ups again. You're in control here. What do you want to do?
Okay. Since I'm in control and I've got him on the ground, I'm going to try and throw him into a headlock, but not quite. I'm not going to quite go for my finisher yet.
Okay, so you're just going to try and wear him down a bit.
Just going to try and wear him down.
Okay. Go ahead and roll on work.
Okay. It's only a 6, though.
That's a 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're able to get that into it, but it's not quite hitting as good as it would normally be. And he's pretty squirmy. He's been a wrestler for a while, so he manages to get himself out of it, pushes out from under you, and kind of resets, stands back up. As you stand up to meet him up there, he quickly throws a right hand that kind of hits you, and you throw a right hand that clocks it back, and you're doing that classic punching in the middle of the ring until somebody can get in that final shot. I'd like you to roll, and we'll roll contested here to see what happens.
Just 2d6, or is there a
2d6
specific stat?
Yeah, no, just a contested roll. Your roll against my roll.
Okay. Okay, that's an 11.
Wow, that works a lot better than my 5. So talk us through what this last punch is that takes this guy right off his feet.
So it'll be just a 3-hit combo. It'll be left, right, and then a hard kick to one of the thighs to get him off his base.
Nice. Fantastic. Yeah, it goes just like you think it will. And the crowd is loving it. You have a chance for like a power-up move now. What are you going to take him out with?
I'm going to run to one of the ropes. I'm going to use the momentum to swing back, and I'm going to come it down with an elbow.
Fantastic. Yeah, so that works just like you think it's going to. The momentum from going through that rope and coming back clobbers this guy, takes him right off his feet. He's laying on the mat on his back. What do you want to do?
I'll go for a quick pin. I'll go for a cheeky quick pin.
Sure, sounds good. So you get down, and the referee 1, the referee 2, and just as he's coming down for the 3, he pops his shoulder up.
Okay.
Didn't quite get the pin on him yet. It's a little early in the match, but he was down for longer than you would expect him to have been. So he obviously felt the blows behind those first few shots. He manages to get up out of this now that he's starting to maybe get a little bit of the momentum swinging his way.
Mm-hmm.
And what he does is he goes for a traditional collar lockup.
Yeah.
Sort of like goes high. You duck low and go behind him.
Okay.
So you go to reach around from behind to lock onto him, and he kicks backwards with his back foot, and he straight up catches you, nut shot, drops you there.
All right.
The referee is chastising him, but he was just saying like it's a legal move. He was coming behind me. It's not a big deal. He's starting to turn the momentum a little bit. So while you're kind of grounded, he bounces off of the second rope, springboard moonsault onto you.
Okay.
And he's going to try for a quick pin. Do you want to roll me up 2 dice and see what happens?
Sure. It's a 6.
That's a 6.
Mhm.
So that's a 1. That's a 2. And just before that hand falls down, you're able to kick out. So we start off with him again in holding on in position. Pulls you up to your feet, throws you into the corner, and he's going to run in for a kind of like a big, like a stinger splash, like a flying through the air, hits you with his belly kind of trick.
Yeah.
I'd like you to roll on. Let's roll on work.
Okay.
Actually, I'll let you either roll work or look, whichever you feel like you do better with.
Both are the same. Both are 0. So
Okay.
that's a 7.
It's a 7. Where are you rolling, work or look?
Let's say I'll roll look on this one.
You're rolling look. So tell me how you managed to escape his splash and make it look cool for the fans at home.
So as he's coming in for the splash, he's thrown me into the corner, and I'm just gonna sort of do a quick 2-foot jump onto the second rope, and then springboard over top into a roll.
Fantastic. Yeah, you do that. The crowd pops for it for sure. He hits off the second turnbuckle, turns around a little bit dazed, looking for where you're at. What do you do?
I'm gonna go in for I'm gonna go in for a. I'll go in for I'll go in for another spear. Yeah.
All right, let's do it on power.
Okay. That's a 7 though. Just a base 7.
It's a 7.
Yeah.
So just about. He remembers your spear from before. As you charge at him, he's still in the thing, and he leapfrogs you.
Yeah.
You colliding with that turnbuckle.
Mm-hmm.
You go down, and he slides out of the ring for a second. You don't quite know why. So you're on the ground now. He's outside of the ring. He starts shuffling underneath to see about grabbing a foreign object. Sorry, foreign is a bad word. An international object. He grabs a kendo stick, throws it into the ring.
Yeah.
But, obviously the ref sees this. So he jumps into the ring, picks up the kendo stick, and the ref grabs it from him. The ref takes it, throws it outside of the ring, but while his back is turned, he doesn't notice that Palomino grabbed a set of brass knuckles from outside as well, and he's going to try and clock you with these.
Okay.
Can I get you to roll on real?
Oof. That's a 5 and a 6 though. -2. That is a 9.
All right. Tell us how you escape this swinging of these brass knuckles at you, and how you make him pay for it.
So ref's back's turned to us.
Yeah, as he's throwing us out.
Okay.
He's a ways away.
I'm just gonna go down to one knee, and if he's gonna fight dirty, I'm gonna fight dirty too. I'll go for a low blow.
All right, fantastic. So you nail him with that low blow, and in the classic 1990s thing, a low blow it ends it.
Yeah.
He drops down onto his belly on the floor. What would you like to do now?
I'll roll him over. I'll go for the pin.
Okay, so you're going in for the pin. The ref counts a 1, 2. He gets the shoulder up.
Okay.
He manages to get a shoulder up. Well, he's on the ground, though. The ref kind of pushes you guys away because he sees this thing that's on this guy's hand. So he pulls this brass knuckles off and throws it outside.
Okay.
So those are no longer in play.
Mm-hmm.
And you have the control at this moment.
Okay. I'm
So
gonna
he's
try.
still-
He's still a little dazed.
He's a little dazed for sure.
Okay.
And he's arguing with the ref, kind of back is turned from you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to do almost a cobra clutch from behind.
Nice.
And try and just sleeper hold him out.
Okay,
Wow.
fantastic. Is this your finisher?
So I can transition from this into my finisher if I do this right. I'm getting
Okay,
into position
fantastic.
to do the throw out the X.
Okay, so throw out the X. Perfect. So go ahead and roll on work.
Okay.
But I'm going to give you, because his back is turned, I'm going to give you a +1.
+1 forward. Okay. That's only a 6. A 4 and a 1.
It's only a 6.
Yep.
So you come up to behind him to lock it on, but he already kind of knows that you're coming in. He grabs the ref, pulls him into you. It's the classic ref bait and switch.
Yeah.
He throws him at you. You throw your hands up because you don't want to be hitting any refs. The ref puts his hands up, and then he slides out the ring again. So now he's decided that maybe he might not be winning this match, and he starts walking his way towards the back. The ref starts counting 1, 2. Are you going to let this guy walk out and be a loser, or are you going to make him tap out in the ring?
How far up the ramp is he from here?
About halfway, and he's kind of chirping you from the top of the ramp.
Okay. He just slid out and he walked. Okay, so I'm gonna get some momentum from one of the ropes, and
Yep.
I'm going to, if he's close enough, I'd like to try a tope.
Okay, I think he's just outside of the
just
distance where
outside?
you'd be able to touch him.
Okay, sounds good. So yeah, I will. I'll run in, and then I'm gonna just throw him back towards the. I'll run as fast as I can, and I'll just try and do like a quick momentum shift to throw him back towards the ring.
The ring.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and roll on. Let's say that this is powerful. I would say this is a body thing because you have to be fast enough to catch him, and then you have to be powerful enough to get him moving towards the ring again.
It's a 6 and a 4. That is a 11.
Yeah. So you're about to jump out of the ring, and you actually do. You slide out, and you get ready to go up to him. He's turned around, and he's about to start running away. Out of the ring, out of the curtain, is your mentor, your best friend, your manager, Dazzling Dallas Clegg.
Yeah.
He walks out, gives him one of these, which gives you enough time to spear him from behind. Poof! The classic third time's the charm.
Yeah.
You hit that spear. You pick them up. You kind of grab him by his tights. And you walk him back to that ring. Slide him in.
Okay.
He is dazed, hurt, confused. You have the momentum. You have the advantage. What would you like to do?
Okay, so he's center of the ring or near corner?
Center-ish.
Center-ish?
We'll say center.
Okay.
Yeah, he's rolled in and probably made his way to center.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get to the top rope, to the high rent district. And I'm going to do, it's kind of like the coffin drop that Darby
Allen
does. But this one is actually like a full backwards frog splash.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Fantastic. This sounds like it's...
So that it looks like a Starfish X.
Okay, fantastic. This sounds to me like this is a move that was taught to you by somebody. Can you tell me about the origins of this move and how you've been able to turn this backwards frog splash into a winning thing?
Okay. This was taught to me actually during my time in the Indies. I spent a little bit of time in the lucha circuit. So there was some of the high flyers up there taught me a move or two. I'm normally like a ground and pound or a submission specialist, but this is one of those few times where I was able to bring it into sort of a hybrid style.
Fantastic. And you know what? As you're kind of thinking back through time and remembering this this kind of maneuver, it gives you the, I wouldn't say, well, I'd say there's a bit of a momentum shift here as well, where you feel like if you can land this move, you can end this match.
Yep.
And so I'm going to give you a +1 to, this is a look roll,
All right.
and I'm going to give you a +1 on it.
Okay, sounds good. All right, that is an 8.
That's an 8, so
Yeah.
8 flat or 8 plus?
+1, so that would be a 9 total.
9, perfect. describe us. You flying through the air. Describe how this looks.
So it just looks like just an X, and then it's just a straight connects, and there's that loud thud, and the crowd pops.
Yeah, crowd totally pops. Like you hit
Like
that.
there's slow mo
know that
footage
is
of
over.
this. Like you can see like the spread and then the slam.
Yeah, for sure. And being in that backwards position on top of them, you're already there for the pin.
And then
you
I'll
hook the leg.
Hook the leg. And we'll go for the
1, 2, 3. Ref calls for the bell. You have taken out the first member of what will for sure be a gauntlet in taking out the entirety of the division. Dallas still standing at the top of the ramp, and he's cheering you on.
Yeah.
When outside of the curtain, he gets jumped by 2 of the division, and he's just getting kicked and beat on. What do you do?
I'm gonna grab that kendo stick that's outside the ring, and I'm gonna go to work.
Fantastic. Yeah, you start charging up with that weapon in your hand, and they shoo like the bullies they are, the schoolyard bullies they are, and help your mentor to his feet. And you guys both get to celebrate that moment where you stood victorious over these awful people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. So the lights go out, and it comes back in on a video package where it's showing a few weeks ago a young up-and-coming wrestler was taken out by another wrestler. So this is Jai Curtis. He is really up-and-coming star. He's got a lot of people in his corner, especially he's got the man known as Atlas, who's watching his back. And Turkington, Rex Turkington, who takes this guy out, he's been known to be a bit stiff for sure, but also a little bit green. He's a new hire, relatively new. He was trained in the back, but he's a former professional football player. And when he spears Curtis, he actually takes him out by the legs instead of out by the upper body, and winds up breaking his knee. And right now, the camera cuts to an enraged Atlas who's going to tell us about what happened and what he's going to do about it. It's to you, my man.
Yeah, all these young dudes, they come out here, they think they got it, think things should be handed to them. They don't put in the work. They just expect things to be handed to them. Rex thought taking out Jai was his seat at the table. All it earned him was a lesson in hard work. So Rex, come meet me in the ring. And he walks off.
Fantastic. Yeah, there's no promo from Rex. I think you might know that he did something wrong here. It goes down to the announcer, who says, "Ladies and gentlemen, this match is set for one fall with a 30-minute time limit. Introducing first, from New Orleans, Louisiana, Atlas. And describe how your entrance looks, please."
Yeah, Atlas' entrance verbatim is pretty much Mark Henry's entrance music. Everything. He just comes out charged, like trying to put on full intimidation. Just slowly, methodically walks down to the ring, staring down his opponent.
Fantastic. Yeah, so you make it into the ring. You're standing there center, and his opponent from Mobile, Alabama, Rex Turkington. And Turkington, he walks out of the back curtain, opens it up, walks it out, kind of does the one of these, and he has a microphone in his hand, and he says, "You know, Atlas, I played football a long time for the Raiders. And one thing that this is different than is that there's no calls on the play. There's no flags. There's none of that. There's no instant replay. So when I hit your boy, I hit him fair and square. And when I hit you, it's going to be fair and square. And he throws the mic down, feet back hits, and he starts running towards the ring to come in. The bell hasn't rang yet. He slides in, and he throws a right at you. What are you going to do?
Yeah, I'm just waiting for him, and I'm trying to preempt him.
Yeah, for sure. And you know what? You catch him. You catch him with that first punch because you've been around a while, man. And so you guys kind of just start brawling each other, and the ref calls for that bell. You got him down after your punch, so what do you want to do?
Yeah, there's nothing fancy about it. He's just going in like straight punches, just
Nice.
holding him and just wailing on him.
Classic. Yeah, just working him over. He manages to struggle up to his feet and tries to put a collar tie up on you. I'll have you. Let's roll contested to see who gets away with this. So, just your dice against my dice, and whoever wins takes control here.
I got 8.
Okay, I got 3. So yeah, you definitely take over. He's the greenhorn. He's trying to put a wrestling move on you, but he hasn't been wrestling for long. So you get control of him. What do you do from here? So you're in the standard collar tie up.
Yeah, I'm just gonna grab him by the shoulders and just toss him into the corner and just put the boots to him.
Nice, into the turnbuckle for a little stompage. Yeah, sounds great. That sounds like a body move. So go ahead and like the throwing him into the turnbuckle works, but the stomp, we're gonna see what happens. So go ahead and roll on body.
No, that was a 4.
That was a 4. So yeah, you throw him in there, and he goes in, but he not only you throw him pretty hard, harder than normal probably. He hits and falls forward onto his face, rolls himself out of the ring. So he's outside of the ring. He's taking a little wander around the ring, kind of trying to catch his breath. What do you do?
Not on my watch. He goes around to basically cut him off. Like, he doesn't hit him, he just like goes out right in front of him to surprise him.
Fantastic. All right, so that
So
works exactly as you think it will.
Yeah, if you surprise him, you're just gonna go back into him, like try to punch him a few times before throwing him back into the ring.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, that works out just like you think it will. Those punches hit, those punches land, you toss him back in. He has never been in a match where he has been on the losing side. This guy is a guy who has come in and he has been running wild, running strong. Every match that he's been in has been like sub 3 to 4 minutes. So he's pretty gassed, and he is he's not liking being on the losing end of things. So you roll back in, so you jump in after him. He hops up to his feet and he tries to spear you. Classic tackle, football spear. I'll get you to roll on. You can roll on work, please.
Okay. Eight.
8. Yeah, so he comes in for that spear. What do you do? That catches him kind of partway there.
I think he'll just step out of the way and let him almost collapse towards the ropes and then go back after him.
Yeah, absolutely. Works exactly as you say. You kind of move out of the way. He kind of slides over on his belly, not only making him miss, but it also makes him kind of look like an idiot for missing. You have control. What would you like to do?
He's going to get him in a headlock, like right around here. And he's going to go for one of his signatures. He's going to lift him up, almost like jackhammer. He's going to just hold him there for like a good while and just throw him back face down.
Oh, fantastic. Sounds powerful. So definitely roll on your body for that one.
That'd be 9.
9, yeah. Works just like you said it would. The crowd pops. They love this. You've got him down on the mat face first. What are you going to do?
He's gonna stomp on him a bit more. Like he wants to take his time with this.
Yeah. Revenge is better slow, right? So
Yeah.
so you start putting the boots in.
And he wants to make sure this young man can actually go the distance.
You're not. So yeah, you're putting the boots to him. He's trying to roll out of the way, roll out of the ring again, but you're not letting him. You pick him back up. You guys are both standing again. What would you like to do now?
Yeah, I'm just gonna grab him, throw him into the rope, and just big boot him like right in the chest.
Fantastic. Big boot normally is body, but I could see it being work too because it's a pretty standard wrestling move, like everybody from Andre the Giant has done one. So roll on whichever one is higher.
They're both the same.
Okay.
Seven.
7. Yeah, he comes off the rope and you catch him with that big boot, dead center, knocks the wind right out of him. He's on the mat on his back. Now what?
Yeah, he's gonna set him up for the finish, like just signal for it to be. He's gonna go for his finisher, which is the Dominator, Farouk's Dominator.
Oh, fantastic.
So he's gonna grab him about the waist, lift him up onto his shoulder, and just bring him back down.
Big shoulder slam. Awesome. So go ahead and roll up as you're doing the finisher. So go ahead and roll 2d6 flat.
7.
7. So 7, it works, but it's a little bit clumsy because this guy is so green. He doesn't know that he's supposed to actually be going up onto your shoulder, and he slips a little. So you nail him with it, and the crowd cheers. They love that you've hit him with this, but they can kind of see a little bit of his green showing through. What I will get you to do. Actually, I won't get you to do anything. The ref's hand goes down once, goes down twice. It goes down that third time. The ref calls for the bell. Bell rings. You've gotten your revenge. What do you do now? He's raised your hand. Do you let this guy get out of the ring? Do you help him up to his feet? Do you just stare him down? What do you do?
He's just gonna watch him, see what he does at the end of this match. Just stare him down. Like while the ref's holding his hand, he's just gonna watch what he does.
So he kind of rolls out of the ring, obviously beaten. And he kind of looks up at you, and it looks like that spark that was been in his eyes for so long, it's just kind of gone. He just kind of doesn't even acknowledge you as he makes his way to the back.
Yeah, Alice he's just like methodically watching him. Like, is this a dude that can go? Like,
yeah, fantastic. Yeah, so you just pretty much squash matched that dude, and it was pretty rad. So that's pretty cool. So now the thing pops back out one more time, and the announcers in the back start talking about a different thing that's been going on. Ladies and gentlemen, the last few weeks we have been having the matchups on NAW to see who will be in this ladder match for the chance to win a contract to wrestle any champion at our next pay-per-view. And ladies and gentlemen, we've gone through everybody. We've seen the matches last week. You've seen the matches the weeks previous. Let's show you 3 weeks ago with El Magnifico versus Dead White. Let's show you the finish to that. El Magnifico, just kind of tell us what happened on that end of that match that made you the winner.
Well, it had been a pretty tough fight. The opponent was younger, wirier, but El Magnifico rallied at the end, proceeded to apply a dragon suplex, followed by a series of body shots. He also applied his devastating heart punch maneuver, got the other man reeling, and then at the end applied the devastating move that is, of course, Total Magnificence, which is a bionic elbow. But yeah.
That big, beautiful
Yes,
elbow.
Beautiful elbow, took him down, pinned him down, 1, 2, 3, and then El Magnifico ended the match on the ropes like, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Old
On the
dog
other
still has
side
some
of the
tricks.
ring, the same night, we saw a person who's been a crowd favorite for a long time, but he's come back with kind of a new look and kind of a new attitude. We're talking, of course, about Toxin. Toxin, before he was kind of like a bodybuilder, surfer dude looking guy, but now he's come back. He's got this black face paint that kind of almost resembles like Spawn, coming down to the ring with this big spiky jacket, and just acting super out of character for the way that he's been. He did manage to use what his finisher is to actually win, by applying what is it called again? Sorry, give me one moment. Usually I'm better than this.
All good.
Sometimes. We'll say sometimes. The poison arrow, which is a inverted falcon arrow, to beat his last guy. And then we see the next match where El Magnifico won against a larger opponent, winning against the 6'9", 315-pound Dead White.
Ooh.
How did you manage to overcome that huge man?
That was no easy feat for even a legend such as El Magnifico. Basically, it was applying the endurance of a veteran, just taking the hits, rocking back and forth on the ropes, applying some of his training from his younger days, which he probably shouldn't have done. Did a few body slams, probably did a jump off the top rope that he might have regretted later. Yeah, he definitely he did his best to whittle him down, get him to a point where he's vulnerable enough, applied an atomic drop, and then 1, 2, 3, boom, ding, 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 and just managed to collapse into a corner afterward.
Yeah.
For a minute.
Yeah, he went the distance, but it took a lot out of him.
No spring chicken, our El Magnifico.
Yeah, for sure. Toxin was in his last match against former best friend, the Welsh Wolf, went all about that wrong. The Welsh Wolf, Samson Jones. Those guys have been friends since day one. But Toxin, he treated him like he never even knew him, and then finished him off with the Venom Driver, which is a swinging inverted DDT. Got the win and just walked out of the stage. So definitely there have been some changes to this guy in the last little while. And that brings us to today, where the two men are going to have a ladder match. Now, for those who don't watch wrestling, a ladder match is when a ladder is placed in the ring and the men have to go to the top of the ladder and get something that's hanging in the air. In this case, it's a briefcase that has the contract inside of it. Now, the thing to know about ladder matches is they're incredibly dangerous. There are no disqualifications and no countouts in a ladder match, because you can spend your time outside of the ring fishing for another ladder. So yeah, let's get down to the ring where this match is about to happen.
Right, excellent.
Ladies and gentlemen, this match is a ladder match. This is the signature Stairway to Heaven match. It is scheduled for one fall. The only way to win is to be the man holding the briefcase. Introducing first, from Medicine Hat, Alberta, Canada, El Magnifico.
And yeah, El Magnifico walks out, booming music, powerful beats, smoke machines are going off, fireworks are going off. He comes down, running down. He's got the signature blue trunks with the silver piping, big old clodhopper wrestling blue boots with the silver laces. He's got a cape around his neck because of course he does. Blue cape, lovely blue cape. Running down the aisle, like slapping hands, sees somebody holding an El Magnifico sign, stops to get a picture, heads into the ring, and just works the crowd, just getting them hyped, getting them amped the way only he can with his veteran chops, just posing, flexing, showing off the guns, and swirls the cape off dramatically, tosses it to the crowd so that someone can have an El Magnifico cape original.
Yeah, those things are pricey.
Yeah, they are pricey. No,
saw one on eBay for like $450 last week.
Yeah, exactly.
So, next, his opponent from south of heaven, Toxin, and the lights just go, and they pop. Every light in the house turns on, poof, and then there's a puff of smoke. And he just kind of appears out of nowhere. And yeah, he's got that signature, it's almost like a Spawn-esque face paint, only the opposite. It's not black face with white mask, it's white face with black. Ooh. And he has these huge shoulder padded leather jacket with these spikes going up it. And he has a baseball bat in his hand over his shoulder, and he just starts walking slowly down towards the ring. People are trying to reach out and touch him because he was like the baby face forever. Mm-hmm. He's been champion numerous times. This is a side of him they haven't seen. But they're still trying to get in contact, represent their hero, but he wants nothing to do with him. Mm-hmm. And he slowly walks his way towards the ring. Right now, there are no ladders in the ring. All the ladders are on the outside. But he's coming to the ring holding a baseball bat. What do you do?
El Magnifico is pacing in the ring like a tiger about to be let out of the cage. He sees the bat, but if he's intimidated by the bat, he's not showing it. He throws back his head, puts his hands on his hips, and lets out a very loud "ha-ha!" and is just so ready. Like he is champing at the bit. He knows this is his shot. He's going to take it. So he's working the crowd, obviously being like, this guy right here. Oh, I mean, come on. Am I right? So he's vamping a little bit. He's ready. He's obviously giving the bat a little bit of a cautious look, but he's not put out. He's just waiting. He's waiting for his moment.
Awesome. Toxin slides in the ring. And as soon as he gets there, the referee, he calls for the bell, and he gets the hell out of the way.
Exactly.
Toxin is coming in, and he's going to swing that bat at you. What are you going to do?
El Magnifico will show that while he is a stout lad, he is very nimble. So he is going to deftly dodge and then attempt to disarm his opponents. So let's see if that'll work. What are we thinking?
So this, we're going to say, if it's going to be a disarm, generally work, but he's got a hands on. His hands are on it, right?
Yeah.
So let's just do a contested roll, to see.
Roll? Just one.
Yeah.
Right.
If somebody can get the upper hand.
All right. Let's see how we do. That's not so good.
So it's a 6 here. He manages to pull your hands off it.
Yeah.
And he doesn't get that full swing that he wanted. He just kind of pops you at the back end of the bat in the head.
El Magnifico.
You drop.
Back.
You drop, and he is going to take this moment to introduce you to his bat friend again.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So he goes back and swings, hits you in the belly.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, of course, it's a target at this point. Hits you in the belly again. And
El Magnifico works out.
Yeah, then he leaves the ring and starts to grab the first ladder of his ladder match.
Oh, yeah.
Throws it into the ring. gets up onto that apron, steps through slowly, carefully, and he starts setting that ladder up. You manage to get back up to your feet. What do you do?
He shakes his head clear, El Magnifico does, and he is going to attempt to do he's going to charge, not quite a spear, but more like like a bulldog. Like try that out. See if he can try and get him. Yeah, let's see if he can get him out that way.
Okay, that's a bulldog's pretty classic. We can go with work on that.
Work? All right. Oh, snap. That's going to be a 12.
Wow. Natural 12 or with
points. So it's 10 plus my 2 work. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Run us through that bulldog. Run us through how hard the crowd pops and tell us how the ladder becomes involved.
Oh, yeah. So El Magnifico, wily veteran of the ring that he is, springs down into a crouch as he sees Toxin setting up the ladder. His eyes narrow. You could almost, like if it were an anime, you'd see the speed lines forming because he's ready to charge in, and he just, like Dragon Ball Z, just launches himself like fired out of a cannon at Toxin and proceeds to not only hit his opponent, but shoulder check the ladder in such a way that as he gets out of the way with the nimbleness of a longtime veteran, as poor Toxin is reeling from that, down comes the ladder like a felled oak and bam! Hits him across, like as much as you want him to be hit. His bell gets thoroughly rung, and El Magnifico springs to his feet, and now he's going to look at the bat and makes his play for the bat and just starts to slowly tap, 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 and advance on his opponent with like, oh yeah, you done hecked up now.
Yeah, and the crowd is just completely into this. They have loved seeing this guy get his comeuppance first. They love this kind of mean streak that you're showing, which you haven't really shown before. And they are really digging this. You walk around the ladder to this downed guy. You have the bat. What do you do?
Oh, he walks around it, and then he just looks out at the crowd like, and then nods and proceeds to raise the bat, and I'm going to try to bring it down nice and hard on his belly.
Fantastic. Let's roll on real for that. Since
real? All right. Good, but let's see. Ooh. No, that is going to be a 4. So El Magnifico.
The bat is swinging down, and Toxin throws up both his hands and manages to catch it in a display of inhuman kind of strength. Wrenches it from your hands and throws it outside. But he hasn't had a chance to get up yet. So he's still on the ground. The bat is out of play. The ladder is still down. What would you like to do?
Would like to try for a classic leg drop. Just come down on him, boom, and see if that'll
leg drop. That's going to be work, man.
That's my wheelhouse. El Magnifico's out here working.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's another 12.
That's another 12.
That's another 12. Fantastic. 6, 4, and 2.
Oh wow. So not only is this going to hit beautifully, but it kind of, again, like happened earlier, it kind of flashes you back to the time that you have won many a match with this. Who was the first person that you gained a victory over with this leg drop, this specific one?
Oh man, that'd be Mad Bulldog Drummond back in 82. That was the first time I unveiled this back in the day when El Magnifico had just inherited the mantle from his esteemed mentor from Mexico and had taken up the mantle and become El Magnifico II, which not many people know, but he became the second of a long legacy, hopefully. And so he applies this leg drop with the skill that was imparted to him by his mentor, who he hopes is cheering him on from Mexico. So bam, down it comes.
Fantastic. Yeah, and you know what? 15 years of experience means that this thing hits. When it hits, it hits. You nail this guy with it, and boom, he gets hit by it, and he rolls himself out of the ring. But that's about all he could do. He's kind of like pretty knocked down. He falls out onto his stomach outside of the ring, just in time for you to do whatever you like. What would you like to do now?
Well, I seem to have noticed a perfectly good ladder right here. El Magnifico picks up the ladder. Looks like he's about to apply the ladder on the ground, tilts his head, and then advances towards where Toxin is right now, and proceeds to utilize the ladder in a way that it was probably not intended for, and just drive it down at his opponent once across the chest to ensure that if he's down, he's going to stay down for a little while retaining a grip on the ladder.
Fantastic. Yeah, so this is going to be a real roll. However, because of the amazing work on your last work roll, you realize that, as much as ladders are real weapons that we, use to really put a hurt on somebody, ladder matches have been going on for years, and this is a classic wrestling move. I'll let you roll move for work move instead of real on this roll.
So roll a work?
Roll your work. Yeah.
Baby. Okay. Not bad. That'll be 10.
10, yeah. It goes just like you imagined it would. You crush the wind out of this guy before proceeding to do what?
El Magnifico then lifts the ladder and then begins setting it up. And he's about to attempt his ascent to reach for the briefcase.
So let's go contested roll here to see how far we get up. It's an 8 here. Toxin, although he is down, he is not out. You get about halfway up the ladder when he makes his way to his feet, picks up the bottom rungs of the ladder, and topples it over. You, still holding on to the ladder, bounce with the ladder off the rope. Pow, back on into the ring. Now you are laying down, and Toxin is going to do some work on you. The first thing that he does is pretty brutal. He puts the ladder underneath of your chest. At the same time, he locks on some people call it a scorpion deathlock. Some people call it a sharpshooter. Either way, he's still doing a sharpshooter essentially through the ladder onto you as he's trying to keep you down and out. He's pulling, he's wrenching. It's quite painful. And after that, he throws a few more kicks on you and begins setting the ladder up himself. He makes it up to the first rung, and I'll have you roll a contested roll with me, please.
Sure. Hast thou forsaken me, dice?
5. It's an 8 here. He is able to make it up to the second rung, third rung, fourth rung. He is getting towards the briefcase. You managed to hit that first rung, and so you're going up to try and stop him. Go ahead and roll another contested roll.
All right. That'll be a 9.
It's a 7. You managed to catch him right around the... he's just about to the top, and he's just starting to reach up for that briefcase. What do you do?
In the best Mortal Kombat tradition, he's going to be like, get over here, grab him, and he's going to do a lucha move where they both flip backward off the ladder, and he's going to do his ample best to land on Toxin. Toxin is going to be his Mac.
Wow, high risk maneuver.
High risk maneuver, especially for an old cat.
For an old dude, that's something. You know what? It's lucha. It's
lucha, baby.
It's fancy. It's about the look. So roll on look, please.
Hold on, look. All right, let's see how we're doing. Okay. 9.
9. Yeah, you come off both terrifically, both taking a lot of damage from this. And again, this is another one of those things where people are probably going to be showing this on the replays for years to come, because this is a move that you don't see too often. You do land on top of him, kind of driving the wind out of his sails once again. Both of you are down, but you managed to make your way up first.
Yeah.
You start to move towards the ladder again.
Yeah.
You get to the second rung. I'll have you roll a contested work roll. Or sorry, just a contested roll. I lost my dice.
Finally, the pendulum swings in my favor.
All right.
10, baby.
Can you see that?
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Killing
So
me.
you guys are both getting up to the top. And again, you're this time you're the one reaching for the briefcase, and you have your fingers on it. You have your hands on this briefcase. And he throws a right punch. Rocks you backwards, and you throw a punch at him, rock him backwards. He throws a punch, rock you backwards. And he throws an elbow, which just connects under your chin. And you drop, and you fall off the mat. You fall off this ladder, and it looks like slow motion.
Ave Maria.
Hit the mat on the bottom. And he's reaching up for the briefcase. And he's got the briefcase in his hands. And all of a sudden, his music hits again. Out of the crowd steps him with the bat, with the coat. It's him, which is the real Toxin. He kind of stands up at the bottom of the ring, points his bat up at him, and he starts to freak out. The Toxin that's on the ladder jumps down off the ladder, tries to slide out of the ring and grab his bat. Before he can get there, the other Toxin beats him partway through, hits him with with the bat of his own, and starts taking it to him. He's outside of the ring, getting a full-on beatdown. You make your way to your feet, groggily. What do you do, my man?
Okay, worst things happen at sea. El Magnifico is making his way up that ladder. We can sort that business out afterward.
Go ahead and give me one last roll.
All right, let's do this. 8.
8.
8.
8?
If you tell me that you rolled a 9, I'm going to scream. Let me just get the mute button ready.
I can't tell you that because I rolled a 7. You make your way up that ladder with an agility and a speed that hasn't been seen from you in years. You make your way all the way to the top. You grab that briefcase. You bring it down.
Boom on both boots. Yes.
You are the winner of the Stairway to Heaven match.
Ding, 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 ding.
The crowd goes wild, and the Toxin who was beating up the other Toxin, who knows if it was the real or the fake one, he rolls into the ring with you, and he points his bat at you. You have your briefcase here, and he walks up, and he drops his bat and extends a hand.
El Magnifico, being a man of honor, puts the briefcase down with one hand and offers his hand with a look of
hands with you, slowly, methodically, nods, rolls out of the ring, and leaves.
It is a mixture of triumph and befuddlement that is on our hero's face for a moment, but then he starts working the crowd again, like, yeah! And his music swells. El Magnifico, the victor.
Yeah, you are the champion. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. You walk away the victor of this match. We don't know why there were 2 Toxins. We don't know why this one allowed you to win or shook your hand or why any of this happened, but we do know that you are the champ.
Gift horse mouth.
Before we head into our last match of the night, do you guys want to pause for just 5, grab a drink, get ready?
Maybe a quick
cool?
10-minute bio break. Yeah, 5 to 10.
Is everybody cool with that?
We can do a quick 5-minute break, and then we will be back with the final match of the evening.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thanks, y'all.
Hang with us, y'all.
We will be back. Welcome back. We are back and we are live. Without further ado, I'm going to just toss this right back to Tyson.
All right. So a quick recap of what happened at our last pay-per-view event and what happened a month ago. A month ago. More like 6 weeks ago, actually. We had Carl, the Hatchet Castle, was met by Filthy Rich Phil Richardson, who came in and offered him a deal. It was essentially a quid pro quo kind of thing where you take out these people that are on my list and I will give you what you've been wanting. I will buy you that chunk of pristine Alberta wilderness that you've been fighting to protect for all this time. Last time we saw the owner of the company savagely beaten by the hatchet until it was broken up by the NAW champion Street Hawk Stevens, who came in and managed to chase them out of the ring. But over the last 6 weeks, there have been many members of the list getting taken out one by one. Carl, tell us about the time that you took out that high-ranking TV executive, Jimothy Dalton.
Well, I tell you, Jimothy Dalton wasn't much to take down. Carl, the hatchet, walked out of the forest, recharged from some spiritual rejuvenation time, and when Jim Dalton came to call, Hatchet took a swig of his patented moonshine, slugged it down, and just spit it in the eyes of Jim Dalton, and then laid him out with a big chopper across the midsection. It was easy work for the Hatchet.
Fantastic. And when you took out that room full of different showrunners, tell us about that.
Well, those skinny, pencil-necked, paper-pushing punks, wasn't much of much work for the Hatchet to take them down. I reached in my pockets of my denim jacket, pulled out a handful of ashes, threw it in their eyes, and then I took off the jacket and just swung it around and beat them with the jacket till they were crying to their parents.
Wow.
And it wasn't too much work to take those showrunners down either, I tell you.
Yeah, total denim domination there. The last one before this week was the one that actually got you this title match. You fought against, hang on, what was his name again? I'm terrible at this today. You fought against the true American Trip Toledo in a match to determine the number one contender so that you could eventually get Street Hawk Stevens. Tell us how you took out the true American.
Well, with that match with Trip, I was hold on, let me get my sidekick here. Oh no, he's running away. My sidekick, young pup Arctic Fox, who I've made friends with in the forest. Unfortunately, he's a little skittish. So with Trip, it was a long match. It was a hard-fought match, but if you'll recall, at the end, I pulled off yet another layer of denim, and I don't use a lot of submission moves, but I used the denim wrangler and just made him submit to the Hatchet. And I don't like to end a match with a submission, but a man's got to do what a man's got to do to get the job done. So that's what I did. I denim wrangled him until he was done.
Yeah.
I'm so happy.
He will not be messing with you ever again after being wrangled maybe you should leave a bit of him for somebody else. Moving on. So that brings us to today, and that brings us to this match. And that brings us to the match against Street Hawk Stevens, who is the champion of NAW and who is the number one person on Phil Richardson's list of people who are holding him back and stopping him from buying the company outright. So just before we get to the match, we're going to have a promo from Street Hawk Stevens.
Let me tell you, brother, you don't come into my yard. You don't come around taking out my friends. Let me tell you, when Hawkamania starts running wild, there ain't no slowing down, my man. There ain't no slowing down. And now let me tell you one thing. I got just one thing for you, brother. They say you don't shit where you eat. You should know that. You're from a forest. Let me tell you something else. Shit's gonna travel downstream tonight. That's the power of 1 million Hawkamaniacs comes down and puts the hurt on you, my man. Buy my t-shirts.
Wow. Big words from the champion. So let's throw it down to the ring. Ladies and gentlemen, this matchup is for the World Heavyweight Championship. The challenger, accompanied to the ring by Filthy Phil Richardson, Carl the Hatchet Castle. Give us a run through of what happens.
Well, if you'll recall, the Hatchet's entrance music strikes fear into the heart of men as the first note that sounds out is a wolf howl, woo, cutting across the arena, followed by a sonic collage of wildlife noises, wild dogs gnawing on bones, the sound of death and destruction, and water running and avalanches, and all of these sounds coming together into a cacophony of wilderness. And Carl is, he's accompanied by Filthy Phil, but he doesn't like this deal with the devil he's made. So he runs out ahead of Filthy Phil, so to kind of psychologically distance himself and to prepare himself for the match, runs down the ramp, tramping down there, pulls off his last layer of denim, slides under the bottom rope, gets into the ring, looks back up the ramp, and beckons to Street Hawk.
Yeah, it looks just like that. I can't believe you had 4 pieces of denim. Side note. Anyway, let me keep my composure for a second here. As you're walking down to the ring, as you said, you keep a distance from Filthy Phil, but he's kind of trying to play the crowd. He's got a roll of money in his hand, and he's kind of aiming it at the crowd as they're trying to grab it. He's waving them off. You're in the ring right now, and all of a sudden, Street Hawk's music hits. And this is that classic 80s rock ballad, Truest American, that is playing as loud as it goes. You know the song. Sing it for me again. Truest American, he was the truest American. That was true. You guys, you know this song, guys. Come on. Truest American, he was the definitely most American guy that we knew, and he was strong.
I would like to announce my retirement from this stream.
He comes down, getting pumped up, slapping the hands of all his little Hawkamaniacs, making his way down. and he rolls into the ring, and he looks out at his people, and he gives one of those, and he gives one of those, and he beckons, and he points, and he does all the things. That would look way more impressive if I had any musculature. And the bell rings. Just before the bell rings, he takes the championship belt, hands it off to the guy, the ring announcer guy, who walks it out to the booth, to the commentary booth. The bell rings. The champion starts in control, and he walks on over to you, and he looks you in the eyes, and he just says,
It's time to play, brother.
and he throws a big right punch at you. What do you do?
Well, I'm going to actually stand firm and take his punch, just to psychologically show how tough the hatchet is. I'm just going to kind of do the old, what was his name? Butterball would just stand there and take the punches to show how tough he is.
Yeah, total no sell kind of trick.
Yeah.
For a no sell, that's kind of, I want to say that it's body, but it's more like you are pulling back the curtain on what's real and what's not in wrestling. So go ahead and roll real.
That's a 9 + 1, 10.
10. Yeah, you just stand there and punch connects, and he kind of goes, and the crowd kind of goes. So what do you do?
Well, I'm gonna hype the audience a little bit here, because Carl's not the most popular guy, and the Hawk, he's been around. Street Hawk's been around a long time, so I'm gonna give him the old jab to the chest and say, "Your time is up, Street Hawk," and just do like a nice quick boot to the gut, just to kind of take the wind out of his sails.
Classic wrestling move. So yeah, but it's pretty powerful too. So I'd let you roll on work or body, whichever is better at this moment.
Body is look, or body is power. I'm using a different card.
Body is power.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna roll. I can roll on real then. Is that what you said?
No, either power or look. Power or work, whichever's better.
I rolled a 5, and work is still the 0, so that's just a 5.
Yeah, as you showed off your ability to take a blow and not flinch, he does the same. He takes that shot to the gut, kind of bounces him up, but he doesn't really move too much, and he points his finger back at you and he says,
My time's over when I say it's over, brother.
He leans back, bounces off the ropes, and comes in for the classic clothesline. What do you do?
So he's like running towards me with the clothesline?
Yep.
Well, as he comes to me, I'm gonna drop down like on my stomach, so he like runs past.
Yeah.
So then I can pop back up as he comes back off the opposite rope towards me again, and try to throw another chop to him as he comes back.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah. So the duck down works every time. It kind of trips up his step a little bit, so he not only misses, but he comes off of the rope kind of at a disadvantage. So I would have you roll on. You wanted to hit him with a chop. One of them guys. That's going to be power. So go ahead.
That's a 10 - 1 is 9.
9. So yeah, that thunderous chop. Oof, and it takes him off his feet, and he's on the mat for the first time of this match. What would you like to do?
While he's down on the floor, I'm going to do some patented boot stomps. And Carl's going to, use those steel toe boots he's wearing. Those, what are they, Red Wings? We'll say the
Classic
Red Wings.
brand.
He's he's gonna do some stomps while he's down on the ground, just to just take a little steam out of the Street Hawk there.
All right, fantastic. So yeah, those boots are connecting. You're kicking on him. He rolls out, stands up, and then he goes to grab you in the classic collar tie up, lock up kind of thing. Are you going to lock up with him? Are you going to go around him? Or are you going to do something else?
Well, when he goes to lock up with me, I'm going to kind of slide behind him and then grab him by the waist and then try and push him into the ropes. So he, again, springs off the ropes and comes back to me, where I'm going to greet him with another size 12 Red Wing.
Fantastic. That sounds pretty wrestly. I would say that's your work.
That's an 11.
That's an 11. So this works out pretty much exactly like you think it's gonna. You get behind him as he kind of swooshes over you. He's a bigger man, about 6'6", and you're the smaller, more spry person. You manage to get behind him, get that waist and push. He runs kind of forwards into the rope, but then turns around and pops back out. That big boot connects with his chest. The crowd absolutely loves it. You have taken him off his feet. What do you do now?
Well, while he's laying on the ground, I'm just going to do a quick, we'll call it the small axe. So I'm going to polish up the metal and just do a quick little elbow drop to the gut there as he's lying down, temporarily stunned.
You know what? Because you rolled so great on that last move, this move hits. This move hits perfectly. It hits exactly like you think it will, and you manage to knock the wind out of him. Do you go for a pin? Do you do something else? It's up to you. What do you like to do?
Right now, I'm going to pull him back to his feet, and I'm going to launch him into the turnbuckle.
Okay, fantastic. That sounds like it could be work or body. Pick one. Go ahead.
That's a 9 on work.
9 on work. Yeah, so you throw him into that corner. He hits it. Oof. He is in that turnbuckles. What do you do?
I'm going to then kind of run or kind of gallop towards the turnbuckle and do a bit of a kind of what do you call it? Not quite a slam on him, but kind of just like smother him into the turnbuckle to kind of rub him in there a little bit.
Yeah, use your body weight to cause some damage. That sounds to me like you're going to be using power.
Okay. That is a 7.
7. So you are rushing towards him, and he lifts up one of his big feet, and you collide right with it. It catches you. You go down. He is about to cause some damage to you. He's looks out to the crowd, gives him one of these to try and pump him up, and he's going to do his finishing move. He steps back to the ropes to hit it, and Filthy Phil reaches out a hand and tugs on his leg. The referee comes over. He's yelling at him. It takes Street Hawk a second. He's able to get him off of his foot eventually, but his back is turned, and you're coming up off the mat. What do you do?
Well, while he's kind of turned, I'm just going to kind of run at him over the ropes while he's kind of tied up with Filthy Phil.
Yeah, take him to the outside kind of thing. That is a pretty dirty move, but it's a classic wrestling move, so you can roll on work for that.
It's an 8.
That's an 8. Yeah, it works just like you think. You bounce off, and you come back with that clothesline, and it takes him over. The momentum, though, spills you both out. He goes over first, and hardest, hitting the ground. You come out of it on the ground, but not as bad, and you manage to get to your feet first. The referee is counting 1, 2. What do you do?
I'm gonna pull Street Hawk up to his feet and kind of like carry him over towards the turnbuckle and give him the old noggin off the post.
Classic. Yeah, that's a definite classic wrestling move. You are sort of using a weapon, so we can call that real too. Either work or real. Go ahead and roll.
That is an 8. I'll use real, so that's a 9.
That's a 9. So yeah, you take him and you introduce him to that pole. Poof! Oh, he falls back and down onto his feet. The ref. 3, 4. What do you do?
I'm gonna grab him by his britches, and because I want to win the belt, and I'm not gonna do that by a count out. I'm gonna haul his ass back into the ring.
Okay. You do that thing that you said you did. You pick him up, you throw him in, he rolls over the mat. That classic way that only a big band from the 80s can do. You slide in under that rope. You are currently, you have the momentum on your side. What do you want to do?
Well, I'm going to slide back into the ring myself. I'm going to try and go for one of my kind of specialty moves, which the Hatchet likes to refer to as the tall timber. This is just a basic suplex, holding him straight up in the air, to get that blood draining to his head before I slam him down to the mat.
Fantastic. Yeah, that sounds to me like that's a classic work roll because it's a pretty classic wrestling move, but it also could be look because it's a signature. So whatever works better, work or look.
They're both 0, so I'm only rolling a 4 there on that move.
Yeah, you managed to get him up. He is pretty heavy though, and the weight of him, you get him up, that momentum starts to go, but he comes back down to his feet and he lifts you up for a suplex of his own, and he hits you with that suplex. This time, it's kind of going to go through his 5 moves of doom. So the first thing he does while you're down on the mat, he picks you up and he hits you with a kind of gives you an arm bar, turns it into a short arm clothesline, which takes you down. He's starting to get pumped. He picks you up over his head. Classic gorilla press, slam. And then he starts doing this one. And you know that the finisher is going to start happening. He bounces off the far rope and comes back at you for his dropping knee. Go ahead and roll on. Let's roll you on work.
It's a 9.
That's a 9. He goes to drop his knee on you, but you roll out of the way. He doesn't have you yet. He drops to his knee and not hitting that flesh that was underneath him. He hits that mat dead on. Oof. Kind of throws him back a little bit. He's kind of amazed because usually when he does all of this theatrical stuff, he usually hits that knee drop, gets the 3. It's been going that way since 1981, but not today, I guess. You're in control. What would you like to do?
I'm going to just try and chop him down a bit here again. If I'm in control, I'm going to give him what should I do here? I might just give him a little spring off the ropes so he comes back into a big size 12 boot again, just to take him down to the mat with force.
Okay, another big boot. Let's go ahead and roll that on work again.
That is a 9.
It's a 9. And it works just like you think it will. This time you put a little bit more oomph through it, and you kind of walk that boot right through him. He goes down to the mat again. He is on the mat, on his back, looking up at you. What would you like to do?
I might just go for a quick pin just to piss off his fans mostly. Take a little, take a little momentum off of his side maybe, just to insult him. No, try and go for a quick cheeky little pin there.
Okay, so you go for that pin. You hit a 1, you hit a 2, and he kicks out. He gets to his feet, you get to your feet. What do you want to do now?
I am going to go at him with a classic lockup. I think this is going to be the build to the finish here. So I'm going to put out the claws, the hatchet's claws, and try and lock him up into a kind of test of strength situation.
Okay, he puts his big mitts right on yours. That's going to be a contested roll to see who comes out on top. So go ahead and roll, and I will roll as well.
It's a 7.
That's an 8 for me. You get the big man down to his knees, well, to one knee, and all of a sudden the amped up crowd, he starts feeding off it, and he fights back, and he's on top, and he takes you like this. He's got your hands. You are, and he just kind of pulls back and tosses you through the air. You're kind of flying through the air, land on your back, and he runs over to the ropes and starts shaking him like he's going to do his big finishing move one more time. Bounces off the ropes to go.
Uh-oh.
Looks like Tyson just froze for a little bit there.
Good.
Stand by.
It's a cool freezing pose, though.
Oh, well. Am I back?
You froze, but you're okay.
Sort of.
Yeah, you're back now.
I'm okay now.
Welcome back.
You froze while you were on the ropes.
But now you're froze again. So we're on a dramatic pause.
Yes. The suspense.
I told you Street Hawk was getting old.
Yeah. We're just gonna do a quick cut to break. Or wait, are we okay?
I think we are, but I don't know.
Okay.
Are we okay?
Yeah, now you're back.
Let's just take a moment.
You're back.
All right.
Take a sec. Let
Okay.
your internet
Check,
catch
everybody.
up.
Anyways.
There you go.
A lot of stuff happened in the news and stuff.
Yeah, we come back to the ring where Street Hawk was bouncing off of that rope to do his finishing move, the big knee drop, and once again, Filthy Phil inserts himself into the ring. This time, sliding in on his chest, grabbing both of his legs, and pulling him to the ground. The ref comes over, starts chastising him again. Street Hawk is down on the mat. You have a chance to take advantage of this. What do you do?
Well, while he's face down on the mat, I'm going to take some dirty boots to the back of his head, just clomp and stomp right on the back of his skull there to just wear him out, just get him ready for the finisher.
Okay, that works just like you think it will. Talk us through where you're going with this finisher.
Well, I've stomped him down a bit. I feel like he's worn out. I'm gonna try and go for another. This isn't my big finisher, but I'm gonna actually no. If he's down on the mat, he's kind of close to the edge of the ring. I've stomped him. I'm going to go for the hatchet job. So, I'm gonna climb to the top turnbuckle. I'm gonna polish that steel, and I'm gonna do a nice big flying elbow drop to the back of his head there.
Fantastic. Go ahead and roll on your, on nothing, just on your finisher. Go ahead and roll your finisher, which is 2d6. Tell us what you roll.
That is a 5.
It's a 5. You climb to the top rope. You get all the way up there. You jump off. You leap with that beautiful, amazing arm of yours. driving that point right into his back. Poof. You hit him with the hatchet job. You roll him over, but it takes you a little bit of time to get him over because he's a pretty big guy. You hook the leg. There's a 1, 2. Just before you hit the referee's hand hits the mat, he kicks out. What do you do in this position? He's down. He's wounded.
I think I'm going to need to take a little bit more out of this guy because he's a big man. So I'm going to, I'm going to use the assets at hand, which is Filthy Phil. So I'm gonna try and hurl Street Hawk out of the ring again, take him to the outside to kind of get dirty and maybe do what it takes do what it takes to win the belt outside of the ring. So I'm gonna hurl him through the middle of the ropes to the outside of the ring there.
Okay, fantastic. You get him up. You pick him up off of his feet. He's groggy. He's beaten. He's bruised. He's nearly beaten. And you're about to throw him out of the ring. And the crowd amps itself up one more time, just as heavy as they have before. They start chanting. They start cheering. They start stomping. He kind of starts to hawk up. As he begins to hawk up, he starts to throws out a punch at you. It connects. You throw a punch at him. It connects. He throws a punch at you. Connects. You throw a punch at him. It connects. He hawks up even harder and hits you with a big clothesline, which knocks you down. This time it's his turn to put a finisher out, and he bounces off that rope. And this time it's happening. He comes back, and that giant knee of his, because the last thing that you start to see is it comes down. He hits you with that knee. He rolls you up. There's a 1. There's a 2. And at this moment, you fly back to when you started wrestling, to when you started as in your training, all those years of working on the independent circuits for a handshake and a hot dog. You go back to all of these times that people overlooked you, or people didn't bring you up to the big show, or didn't let you ever battle for the championship. And as that hand comes down for that 3, you're not going to let this happen again. And you kick out. You kick out, and you start to think that maybe you do have what it takes to be a champion in you, but it's not going to be that hatchet job that you used, and it's not going to be that thing that brought you up to this top. It's not going to be Filthy Phil. What is it that you're going to do to this guy that's going to finally put him away?
Well, I'm as I kick out, the blood is coursing through my veins, and I'm thinking, what's on the line in this match is not just the championship. It's that contract with Filthy Phil, that if I win this, if I do his bidding, I'm going to get the deed to that chunk of forest that Filthy Phil owns. So all I can think about is, that forest, and my primal instincts really surge in. And as I get to my feet, I do like a sprinting headbutt into Street Hawk to take him back down, just throwing everything I got, like sprinting like a wolf with rabies, and just taking him down as hard as I can.
Fantastic. It works. It works perfectly, because this is something that not only he hasn't seen you do before, but nobody in the locker room has ever seen you do before. You hit him with this perfectly. He goes down. You hook the leg. The ref's hand goes once. The ref's hand goes twice. The ref's hand comes down for 3. Everybody freaks out in this place. There's boos, jeers. but they've just seen a new champion crowned. You stand to your feet. You can hardly believe it. He lifts your hand and he brings you the belt. You've got the belt over your shoulder, and Filthy Phil walks in with his microphone. Well, Hatchet! I knew you could do it. I knew you could take out everyone on my list. I knew that today would be the day that we crossed off every one of those names, that we became the champion. Or should I say, I became the champion. Lie down.
Hatchet kind of looks around, stunned, grabs
I said
the mic.
lie down.
What is this? What is this?
You aren't the champion. I am. Lay down. They'll count to 3. They'll give me that belt, and you'll walk away happy.
This wasn't part of the deal, Phil. I knew I couldn't trust you.
This was the plan all along. You just couldn't see it.
Well, is our deal? Do I expect you to honor our deal for the deed to the forest?
I will. I will. You just have to lay down.
Well, Carl doesn't like this too much, but he got into this, dirty deed with bad feelings, and he still got bad feelings. But you know what, Phil? I'm gonna lay down. I'm gonna take the pin. I'm gonna take back my forest, and then I'm coming back for you. Carl lays down on the mat with his arms crossed over his chest, turns his head sideways and closes his eyes.
Phil
Shamed that the situation he's put himself in.
Phil puts a $2,000 alligator skin shoe right on your chest, just standing like this. As the ref counts a 1, counts 2, counts. What does he count?
I'm gonna let him do it. He's gonna let
Counts
the
at
pin
3.
happen.
Counts at 3. The bell rings.
Oh, the burn.
The crowd goes absolutely crazy. They don't know what's going on, how it could have happened like this. But not only is Street Hawk not the new champion, and not only are you not the new champion is Filthy Phil Richardson. And he picks up that belt and he walks it out of the ring. And the credits pop up.
Oh.
That's it for our session tonight. So yeah, that's all I have for you. Thanks so much for playing, guys. Guys and gals, it's been an amazing time. I think this has probably been my favorite one so far. And we've got really cool stuff in the future. The next battle is going to be, as I said before, it's going to be Countdown to Oblivion, and that's not going to happen until the new year. So countdown, because it's the new year, obviously. And before that, though, we're going to do a one-shot set in Glacier Wrestling League, which is like a Stampede Wrestling in the 80s, with lots of fun. We're going to have a really big battle royal and lots of surprises. But that does it for tonight. Thanks very much for joining in.
So yeah, with that, we're going to go around. We're going to say who we are, where you can find us on the internet, and you can, and then we'll sign off for the evening. We'll start with Ryan. Who are you? Where can we find you? What do you do on the internet?
I'm Ryan, Sphinx Earl in chat, Sphinx Earl on Twitter. I typically lurk in people's chats. It's usually where you can find me.
And you're delightful. We'll move along to Stacy.
Yeah, I'm Stacy. You can find me at StacyHD on Twitter, where I frequently post all sorts of things. I co-host a weekly podcast with my brother Ryan called the Fanboy Power Hour at Fanboy Power Hour, and we talk about nerdy stuff and just have a general good time. We have a lot to talk about this week because that latest episode of The Mandalorian was crazy. So that'll be fun, and you can also find my writings on Comic Book Resources, CBR. So I frequently write various articles about nerdy stuff. My last article was on Bounty Hunter from DC Comics, Jonah Hex, and his post-apocalyptic
nice.
run. Yeah.
Nice. Tyson, who are you? Where can we find you? What do you do?
I sit at home mostly now due to COVID measures. I can be found on the internet. Ya boy acronym. That's kind of where I'm at on Twitter. Other than that, don't try and find me. I'm not very exciting.
He also raps about wrestling on occasion.
Yes, that's where the acronym thing comes from.
Yeah.
I do have a band camp with 2 really terrible songs about wrestling. I'll throw it in the chat.
And Tyler, who are you? Where can we find you? What do you do on the internet?
I help people do fun creative projects of all kinds, and you can find my website at tstew.com. That's TEESTEWWW. And I'll leave it at that.
Nice. And again, I'm Anita or Panita or Critical Misses. You can find me here pretty much all the time. Occasionally you can find me on other channels doing other cool things. Tuesday I'll be on Madame Gandalf's channel for our game of Cult. Let me just give you some privileges, Tyson, real quick. There you go. You can find me on Thursday over on the Noir Enigmas channel for our Lonely Throne Dungeons and Dragons 4-part limited series for now. And then, other than that, you can find me here. There is no morning ritual this week because I've been forced to take a vacation by people's love and affection. So that is me. But yeah, until next time, we hope that you were at least sports entertained. Bye, everybody.
See ya.